Brother Harrison,
Brother Historian.
we are watching the Pied Piper, starring that one guy from The Clockwork Orange and Star Trek Generations. Isn't that the same? Isn't that Roddy McDowall?
Let's all go to the lobby.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen A Clockwork Orange, and I probably never will.
Is this literally the story of the Pied Piper leading rats out of Ireland?
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
This is set in France, and this is Second World War.
Anything? Any initial thoughts before we view this? Have you seen it before? What did you think of it, etc., etc.?
Yes, I have seen it before, and I find this to be a very, very entertaining movie. A rather wholesome movie, kind of. And, oh, by the way, before we start watching this, I wanted to give you a warning. Do you remember our previous World War Wednesday video a couple of episodes back for Edge of Darkness?
I do indeed.
So a couple of the actors who played the Germans in that movie are actually in this movie, but they're not the main characters. They're just passing characters.
I wouldn't be surprised if I don't spot them, so I'll ask you to point them out when we come across them.
Let's see. There's Pigface. We all remember him from the last episode. And then there's Huffman Kenny. I thought that was a pretty nice one. Now, in my head canon, since this movie actually takes place before Edge of Darkness, those are the two same Germans, but in France.
It's just their further misadventures. We may note also that this was made in '42, with the war still going on. I don't know if it's going to have propaganda elements due to that, but I'm curious to see.
Well, it is an Allied war movie, so I would expect propaganda elements to be present.
Well, sure. We don't need an even-handed presentation of the Nazis. We know who the bad guys are. It's okay.
Yeah, of course we did.
It's really striking to me how old this logo is, the 20th Century Fox. They just never changed it.
They don't make movies like this anymore. They don't make them like they used to, huh?
They don't make people like Nunnally Johnson anymore. Next pet I get. I was gonna say if I ever have a kid, but next pet. At least middle name Nunnally.
Oh, there's France. June 1940. Saint Claude.
Ah, yes.
Alright, so that's got to be a matte painting in the background right there.
I would say so, yeah. This guy's not gonna let something like a little war get in between him and his fly fishing. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I've never actually gone fly fishing before.
So,
Really understood.
I tried to get really into it because I grew up next to a fishing mecca, if you will. I bought all the gear. I was out there one day just doing my thing, and like the thing like flipped around and it like paused in front of my face like Matrix style. I thought it was going in. I thought it was going in my eye. And I was like, maybe this is not for me. Haven't been since.
Harcourt 5. Oh, but Monsieur Kakanoa is a young man. You must be tired, monsieur. Would you like to have something now?
Yes, I think I'll have a small blonde.
Très bien, monsieur. That always helps. Mr. Howard, will you help me with my lesson?
Well, is that regarded as ethical?
That's quite all right, Mr. Howard. Everyone knows you cheat. I have to name 5 states in the United States, and the only one I can think of is Texas.
5 states in the United States.
Well, let's see now.
All she can think of is Texas?
Then there's,
Well, Texas does have a bit of a reputation for the crazies, right?
You couldn't come up for California, New York? Well, yes, of course. Texas does, but
California.
We just came up with California.
California.
That's your home state represented right there.
yeah. I say that, but if you asked me to name all the Canadian provinces, I couldn't do it.
Jen.
Well, we're not all provinces up here. We got some territories.
Well, right.
There's
Oh,
Florida.
mustn't forget Florida, man.
They're struggling this hard.
Oh, he is British, so...
So he should know Massachusetts, Virginia, the 13 that rebelled at least.
No,
Rochester.
Rochester isn't a state.
Then may I ask what it is?
Rochester's a city. Mr. Howard says it's a state.
It may very well be a city. I don't deny that. I only contend that it is also a state. A state somewhat north, a bit to the northeast of the New England colony.
You're gonna have to tell me about this state. I've never actually heard of it.
Thank you, madam.
But it isn't, sir. It's a city. A city in the state of New York.
I used to know a guy who taught in Rochester, the university there.
Did anyone ask you?
No, sir.
Then you will be doing me a great favor by keeping your irresponsible conjectures to yourself. And if you don't mind, will you unwind that thing? Rochester, as I recall it, is largely an industrial state, although I believe it does grow quite a considerable crop of maize.
Dad, is Rochester in the United States a city or a state?
Rochester's a city, of course. We ought to be able to get some English news now if Jerry hasn't jammed it.
Have you any corroboration for that statement beyond your bare, unsupported word?
This old man is going to die on this hill. Rochester is a state, goddammit.
That Rochester, USA, is not a state in the American Union. Have you anything to support that assertion, or is it merely your opinion?
I'm afraid I don't understand, sir.
Well, Mr. Howard told Sheila that Rochester's a state, and it isn't.
Well, I must admit that I've never heard the question raised before.
Then what would you say, sir, if I informed you that I myself have visited this...
He's just digging that hole deeper and deeper.
So naturally, I would be
I
compelled...
am right, even though I know I'm wrong.
In fairness, there's no Google. Like they can't check him.
Oh, something's happened.
What, we're done arguing about statehood?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
They're Hankels, all right. You can tell by the
Oh.
motors.
Yeah.
Do you know why they should be over this part of the country?
Madam, I haven't the faintest idea.
Oh, Kraut bombers are incoming. Can I get away with saying that nowadays, Kraut? Or
We can still hate on them. They're
yeah, the old ones, not the new ones,
Yeah.
not the current ones.
their
No hate towards you, Germany.
their country's still economically powerful, so we're allowed to make fun of them.
Perhaps relishes contradiction and bickering.
Sir? But the fighting's all up that way in Belgium. Why should German planes...
Unless things are worse than we've heard.
Let's see, they said it was June 1940. War began September 1939, so that's what, a year's worth?
The overseas service of
Are
the
we-
British Broadcasting
Are we totally sure the tall fella's not Salvador Dali?
It would be idle to deny
No
that
idea.
today faces a dark hour. The evacuation of our
Looks
forces
like it.
from
Oh, Dunkirk has
Dunkirk
happened.
completed, but at a
Dunkirk,
cost
good movie, by the way.
to overestimate.
Great movie.
Moreover,
Loved
the
it.
enemy
It is.
continues to advance. More channel ports, French as well as Belgian, are now under German occupation. And under such circumstances, we must be prepared to face any eventuality, even invasion. But in this hour of darkness, let Englishmen, wherever they may be, in whatever lands beyond the sea, hear again the recorded words of the Prime Minister before the House of Commons this morning, and be of good heart.
We shall defend
That is not
our
Churchill.
own, whatever the cost may be.
That's
we shall fight
maybe the worst Churchill impression I've ever
land and
heard.
ground, in fields,
It's
in
like me doing this.
Yeah.
fields,
You or I could do that performance better than this man did at the drop of a hat. No training,
which I do
no
not
practice.
believe.
Oh,
This island,
that sounds like a
large
challenge.
part of it, was subjugated and starving. Then our empire
We-
beyond the sea.
I would try, but it just comes out as Kennedy.
By the British
We shall reach the moon. That's even bad Kennedy.
until, in God's good time, the new world, with all its power and might, sets forth to the liberation and rescue of the old.
Man could give a speech. Give him that.
Haha.
This guy's not into it.
God save the king.
I'll be honest, if I was listening to a speech with a bunch of other dudes in like my living room, and they all got up and like saluted the radio, I'd be like, "You guys are geeks." Like they can't see you.
Let them die for whatever it is they're
Oh,
fighting.
this man's a Frenchman.
You can see for yourself. It was a great mistake for us to try to fight Hitler. He's too strong. Yeah, we should have made terms with him when we had the
Oh,
chance.
he's one of those appeasers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we
The
here,
Vichy
we're pretty
Frenchman.
lucky.
She's
We're
fine.
right here, this far south. And for you and me at our age, that's a very common
The look,
thought.
the seething anger in this man's eyes.
Yeah.
We must live.
Then allow me to inform you, sir, that if ever again you address one word to me in any way, shape, or form, I shall take the greatest of pleasure in thrashing you within an inch of your life, regardless of your age.
Yeah.
Train for Paris at 9 o'clock, isn't there?
Yes, monsieur.
I shall be taking it. Please
I will
arrange
beat
with
the
station
brakes
master
off
for
you,
my
old man.
reservations to London, by way of Paris and Saint Malo.
But, monsieur, you've been only here 3 days.
3 days, of which I am heartily ashamed.
Mr. Howard,
Yes?
I can assure you that no one believes for 1 second that you're here for, well, any but the best of reasons.
No. I am here because I'm a selfish, pig-headed old man. I offered my services to every department of the government in London. I'm not without experience, understand. I have served my country in positions of some responsibility. But this time, I wasn't wanted. I was too old.
Oh, they didn't want the guy that thought
All
Rochester
London
was a
was taken
state?
seriously by but one man, my vicar.
Can't imagine.
He suggested to me that I knit for the soldiers. I'm afraid that I took some exception to his well-meant suggestion, poor dear fellow. But to run away like a sulky child was wrong. And I'm deeply ashamed of myself.
But that's not my point, sir. As you say yourself, you're not young.
There is no other point. Young or old, an Englishman's place at a time like this is in England. And if the trains are running, I shall be there in 18 hours. To knit.
Hats for the soldiers.
Oh, okay. Thank you for filling in that detail. I appreciate that.
Good evening. Won't you sit down?
Hat, socks, whatever.
Yeah.
Mr. Howard, do you know what my husband does?
Well, I can't say that I do.
He's an official of the League of Nations. at
League of Nations. What a crap show that was.
Yeah.
But Switzerland is very likely. to
Their
be
hearts were in the
next.
right place, I
Do
guess.
they really?
Mm.
That's where we're going tonight. Back to Geneva.
Well, is that very wise if there's danger there?
That's not the point. That happens to be his post of duty.
I see.
But if Hitler does come, there won't be much food, I'm afraid. There never is under him.
Filthy little gas knife.
For myself, I'm not afraid, nor my husband. It's the children we're thinking of.
Well, hasn't he thought of sending you and them somewhere where you'd be safe?
I wouldn't leave him. If anything happened, we'd want to be together when it happened.
Of course.
But the children. Mr. Howard, would you take them with you back to England?
Do what?
We're so afraid, and if we'd only been to Plymouth, my sister would meet you there with a car. Oh, I know it's asking an awful lot, but it's...
You mean that boy, too?
Please, he didn't mean to be rude. He's really a very good child.
Oh, I dare say.
The boy who argued with me about geography?
He'd behave...
Let the Nazis have him.
Everything you say.
Hey.
No, she'd be no trouble whatever.
Sheila I've met seems to be a very decent sort. A bit on the Brady side, perhaps, but on the whole, decent enough child. The boy. It was never a matter of whether Rochester is a state.
It's gonna be recurring. This is gonna be a recurring joke, isn't it?
Authorities to decide. It was his stubborn, dogmatic attitude.
I'm sorry.
Naturally, I couldn't expect parliamentary rules from a child, but just a minute. Where are you going?
It was really too much to ask. I apologize for bothering you.
Oh, there's no need for flying off the handle, you know.
I have no reproaches whatever, I assure you.
I know it. These children, are they capable of clothing and unclothing themselves?
Why, yes.
And tending to themselves in the, well, conventional emergencies?
Well, what are we beating around the bush at here?
You really mean that...
Mrs. Cavanaugh, under the circumstances, there could be but one answer to your request. Please, please.
This is very, very kind of you.
Not at all.
I'll have them ready in 5 minutes. Bless you.
Like,
18 hours.
what have I done?
I'll give Mother a big hug.
So, parents are going to Geneva, Switzerland.
Yeah.
They're worried that Hitler would invade
We'll be
them.
together again soon, I'm sure.
But if I remember my history correct, Hitler never invaded Switzerland, though he did have plans to do so.
Just so strong.
I believe that is the case. Yeah, you don't hear about a Swiss invasion.
Oh.
I've telegraphed their aunt. It's hard to say how much we both appreciate this.
Not at all.
Well, this is cute how it's developing. Like there's tons of examples of like a grumpy old person with a couple children that they have to travel together.
Close
Like,
attention to Mr. Howard.
so yeah, it's a
Do everything he says promptly.
well-known relationship.
Take good care of them. God bless you.
No, dear. Don't worry, please.
See, that boy's got to be at least 12, 13 years old. Girl's got to be at least, I want to say 10?
Do you
11?
think the girl's still alive at least? I'd give the girl a chance.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, this movie was, what, 42? That makes it, what, how many years ago is that? I want to say 80? No.
90, actually. No, 80, you're right. So, yeah, so if she was still with us, she'd be 90.
Will we sleep on the train?
I expect so.
She won't.
What do you mean? Why won't she?
Because she always gets sick on the train. Sick right on the floor. I don't either.
Oh, dear.
Well, has no one here ever seen a child sick before? Go ahead, Sheila. Do it again.
What did I tell you?
How would you pronounce that name?
I'm gonna say probably Juan.
Juan?
Juani, maybe?
What'd that chap say?
He says we've got to get off. The train doesn't go any further.
It's impossible. My tickets distinctly read Paris and Saint-Malo.
Tout le monde descend, le train ne va pas plus loin.
But why?
Military orders, monsieur.
Very well.
Allez, tout le monde descend.
Dick, send me a couple of porters.
Porters? Non mais comment vous trouvez ça? Il veut des porteurs.
So the boy speaks French.
Yes.
The old man does not.
Nice touch. I guess they're being boarded in France, so it makes sense that they would. Is that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Look out! I have a sick child here. Get out of the way.
And also, I guess like those European countries, they would teach, they would put an emphasis on learning other languages.
Sure. I mean, especially.
I mean, over here in North America, it's like lingua franca is English,
right?
Whereas over there, it's every other language under the sun. French, German, Spanish, Italian, Scottish.
And their father's like a foreign service officer or something. Was the vibe
I believe
it.
Yeah, something like that.
Now, my dear, everything's going to be quite all right.
What do you think's happened, Mr. Howard?
Oh, nothing at all, probably. You know how tiresome these foreigners are.
Messieurs les voyageurs sont priés de se rendre dans la salle d'attente avec leur bagage, s'il vous plaît.
I say!
I say.
Les voyageurs sont priés de se rendre.
Spin that rug, Ronnie. Here, hold her head. See you don't drop her.
I'll take care of her, sir. We'll be all right, won't we?
Here, put this on her head, poor Pippi.
Thank you, madame. Either that blighter will pay some attention to me, or I'll report the entire matter. to
Oh,
the
he's going full Karen.
She bad?
I'm super important.
Are you more comfortable now, mon bébé?
French.
Monsieur, je t'attends. Arrêtez, c'est pour la vie. Être un militaire. J'en sais rien, mon capitaine. Impossible de moi de vous dire quoi que ce soit.
Look here, my good fellow. Twice I have asked you a civil question, and now I demand a civil answer.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez, monsieur?
I want to know what time the next train leaves for Paris.
For Paris? There is no more train to Paris, monsieur. No more trains to the north at all.
But I hold tickets.
Monsieur, do you not understand? The Germans have crossed the Marne. Nobody knows what next or where. The whole front is breaking. Maybe the train will never run again.
Never. But I have two small children.
At your age, monsieur, that is undoubtedly magnificent. This is a contest.
Bloody hell, get a hobby, man.
Ma grand-tante demeure à Tours, dans une maison avec un cerisier, avec une petite souris. Wink, wink. Et
Oh, cute.
Can't understand a single word of it, but yeah, it is cute.
Yeah.
Et un petit mouton blanc.
This is like the French version of what's it called?
I know what you're talking about. Like what sound the farm animal makes or whatever. Like farmer,
Yeah.
old MacDonald had a farm or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a train there to Saint Malo. The chef de gare told me.
Let's get by all means. Oh, that's very good news indeed. Once we get to San Malo, here, give me my fishing rod. Sheila?
I'm all right now, Mr. Howard. I can walk.
Why, splendid! We'll make it yet.
Tante Hélène, Tante Hélène.
Au revoir, mon chéri. Embrasse ton papa pour moi.
Au revoir, ma tante. Viens vite, dépêche-toi.
Wait, did they not have a ticket for her mother or something?
Bit of luck catching this bus. In you go. Once we get to short, everything will be quite all right. I must say, Ronnie, this was very clever of you. Very clever indeed.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, if you could only break yourselves, it was certainly insufferable.
A weirdly specific thing that I love is interior of vehicle scenes, like in old school movies.
Yeah. That was all like quote unquote green screen back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's your mother?
That wasn't her mother, that was her aunt.
Well then, where's her aunt? Good heavens, did we leave her behind? What is this? Why are you goggling at each other like that?
Louis le Papier.
There's any funny business here.
That's her father. He's a waiter.
Well, what possible interest could his address... So that's it.
But they hadn't any home. The Germans burnt it down. They hadn't any place to go, don't you see?
Come one, come all, eh?
Oh, please, Mr. Howard, I didn't mean it that way. I told Madame she should speak to you, but she was so scared.
Open the floodgates, let them all in, eh?
You wouldn't want them to be caught by the Germans, would you, sir?
That's not the point, sir.
Comment me passer embêtante, huh? Oui. I like her. You see, sir? She can take care of Sheila and I can take care of her. Then you won't have the bother.
All very neatly arranged, eh? Possibly I have something to say on the subject. Can I make it clear? You understand, my child, I have nothing whatever against you personally. It's simply that I do not propose to be imposed.
No idea what the hell he's saying.
She doesn't understand what you're saying, you know.
Well, then perhaps you will. Not to keep you in the dark about it, I do not like children, particularly you. Nor do I propose to become the Mecca for every unfortunate child in France.
Oh, you say that.
Yeah.
Shot, I shall turn her over to the authorities. Leave it to them to get her back.
Oh.
That's the only intelligent way.
Oh, the title. Oh.
Crying. Tears are lost now.
Oh, they're pulling the puppy dog pouting.
Eat your chocolate.
That is a hell of a lot of chocolate to come by in World War II era Europe. Just point that
Oh,
out.
this is early war, so the
fair.
rationing hasn't quite kicked in yet.
Dickens Hotel, sir.
Yeah, 5 years from now, that chocolate will be worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to measure how far they've come over the course of this movie.
Right. Oh, man.
Oh!
Ah, il manquait plus que ça.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
On vient de crever à pneu. Il faut descendre. À ma droite.
You must finish my man on the right. What now? Where are you going?
It's a blowout. We've got to get out into the...
Splendid. At this rate, we'll be lucky if we reach England by Friday.
Well, at the time of this recording, Friday is tomorrow, so...
Hey.
There's a river. through the stockings?
I suppose so. Looks like clean water.
Will we paddle while we eat, Mr. Howard?
If you wish. Should have got some fresh milk, I suppose.
Oh, I don't like milk.
Neither do I, but it puts calcium in the teeth, I believe. Such that rot. Or is that spinach?
Oh, spinach. Oh, I don't like spinach either.
Of course not. Oh, all that muck. Calcium, spinach, vitamin this, vitamin that. Pure nonsense.
Uh-oh.
Je t'en ai bien. Where?
Sit down. Eat your lunch.
Incoming!
Not the best time for a picnic.
They're coming down.
No. They can't. That's impossible.
Pretty decent effects for it right there on the planes.
Honestly. You think models are like a double exposure? Like, what do you think?
I'm thinking models and
You hurt me.
I'm sorry, I fell.
They were shooting at us.
Not a dozen in particular. Now. This is all quite over.
Wasn't scared, was I? Was I?
No, nobody was scared. Rose simply didn't like the noise. Now, you wait here. I'll run up and see if I can't find our bags.
Uh-oh.
Ah, jeez.
End of innocence.
Yeah.
Dead people.
And the bus never ran again.
Man. Kind of see the old man's character changing already. Like, you can definitely see what's developing.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
exactly
starts out as a much of the old fop, now he's softening.
Right.
What's he looking back there for? Oh no, not another one.
His merry band grows.
Well, he is the Pied Viper, so
Right.
There's no choice, apparently. Perhaps you'd better close the door. Blackout, you know.
Yes, sir. Ooh, ça va être amusant.
Is the soundtrack doing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
He is. It is, yeah.
Are you with us now?
He can't talk.
Who is he?
His name's Pierre.
How did you learn that?
He told us.
But he can't talk.
No, sir.
But he told you.
Yes, sir. May I speak to you privately, sir?
Okay.
By all means.
You say so.
Okay.
He was in the bus. Didn't you see him?
Ah, that's what I found. Overheard.
No.
The dead people were his mother and father.
Oh no.
I see.
He can't speak, and I don't think he can hear.
He's in
either.
shock.
Come here, lad.
Bit of a fugue state.
Understandably so. That kid looks to be, what, 9? 9, 10?
Gonna mess you up. Can't imagine.
Oh, my. Sheila, you and Rose over there. Ronnie, you and Pierre, here. You better help him take off his shoes and stockings. Nothing else. Any of you.
Très gentil, tu sais. Oui, très gentil. Touche-toi là. Sur la couverture. Je suis là. Oui, bien
I hope they argue about Rochester again, and he just goes back to hating them. Just like that. It's like, screw you all.
Howard. I'm sorry I was rude the other night about Rochester.
No, it's quite all right. Doesn't matter in the least.
What's wrong, you know?
Oh, you what?
I may very well have been wrong myself.
Whoa!
Those American states.
You called it.
It's, what's that Indian state?
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, that's it. Seems very likely there might be another name, Rochester. No reason why not, you know.
None whatever, sir. I remember it very well now.
You do?
Oh, yes, indeed, sir. A very important industrial state.
Oh!
Not such an old fuddy-duddy after all.
I should say not, sir.
My memory may have gone a bit ragged here and there. But when it comes to geography, you generally find I'm still pretty good.
I can see that, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Kid just humors
Being
him.
a little, just being a yes man.
Yeah. Yes, whatever you say, sir. Yes. Shart.
Pretends? Chartard?
Shart. That's really it. Certainly a medieval center of power.
Oh. Oh, no. She's still got a guardian right there. Where'd they get the pram from?
Children. Now, Sheila, you and Rose and Pierre remain here with the perambulator. And you take care of this. And be very careful with it. You, my boy, you have a good head on your shoulders. I want you with me.
You're the only one here who can speak French and English.
Yeah. And you know where Rochester is.
Particularly to any other children.
Oh, no, sir.
And no more children.
I used to know some people here.
Gonna come back and they're gonna have
Might
10
be able
more.
to help us. Here. Ask her where this is.
Madame, savez-vous où est la rue de Paris, s'il vous plaît? Numéro 17.
La rue de Paris, numéro 17?
Oui, madame.
Oh oui.
Oh. The said Reich has arrived.
Nice. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but if I was, those are cool. Oh no!
I think he's out of his fugue state now.
Yeah. Just need a little rage.
He's got nerve though, going at those Germans with nothing but a fishing pole.
Lordy.
All right, now. Easy does it. We're in a very unpleasant situation here.
Revenge best served cold, young man.
What, sir?
First, no more English, you understand? Any of us heard speaking English, well, we'd be really for it.
Interred.
You understand that, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Sheila?
Oui, monsieur.
That's it.
Mais mettez-vous, monsieur?
Oh, no, not to me.
Well, what are you going to do, sir?
Well, I'll tell you. I suggest we play a little game. I shall be, or rather I shall pretend to be, very old, stone deaf. Can't hear a blasted word spoken to me, eh?
A little crazy, too?
Crazy.
Just a touch, sir.
Might not be a bad idea, that. Mouth open sort of thing, you mean. Might be very good indeed. I might even babble a bit, eh?
Oh, I wouldn't, sir. Might be a little too much.
Oh, we're doing it, eh?
In the words of Robert Downing Jr., never go full retard.
Yes.
It's a serious business. Very serious.
Oh, if you tried to make that movie today.
Got a dress?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
How do I look?
Awful, sir.
All right. Is it my imagination, or does this guy look somewhat like you?
The old guy?
Yeah, like in like let's say 30 years from now.
No, I could see it.
Come in, please.
I could totally see it.
I'm not alone.
Oh, come in, and the little one.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have found the world-renowned historian Doppelganger.
Especially like right here, like the binocular part of the face.
Yeah, he got the same nose as well. I think.
Yeah. Like the reverse Batman. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He's got better facial hair though. I'm sorry, but that stash is stash and beard combination.
I'll have to stop trimming the stash so I can do the upturn.
Holiday friendships
Someday.
are not always remembered so warmly, or even deserved to be.
In this case, monsieur, we did not wish to forget. But, monsieur, you didn't have these last summer.
Some of these I did not have
Well,
24 hours ago.
about that.
The simplest explanation would be to say that I seem to accumulate them.
Seem to accumulate them.
Madame Rougeron, Mademoiselle Nicole Rougeron, this is Ronald. Fine lad.
He's a fine lad all of a sudden.
This is Rose. This is Pierre. And this is...
Oh,
what?
Another one.
Oh,
Where'd you come
man.
from?
What happened to this one?
We seem to have a new one. When did he join us?
Well, he's been with us on and on since yesterday.
You mean you don't know who he is?
No, but on this trip that doesn't seem to be necessary. Where did you spring from, my boy?
Ik kan het verstaan, meneer.
Oh, why, that's Dutch.
His name is Willem, not William. Willem.
How do you know that?
He told us.
Listen to this. Do you speak Dutch?
Oh, no, sir.
Do you
Okay.
understand Dutch?
No, sir.
But he told you.
Yes, sir.
Then in what language did he tell you?
In no language, sir. He just told us.
Pointed at himself and he said his name. That's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I suppose there must be some norm.
What happened to his head?
for this
I
system
don't
of
know. Is that hair?
I think-
I dare say it doesn't matter.
Well, it's either a birthmark or someone hit him on the head.
Okay.
Of course, we will, the poor little ones. I wonder if they'd like something to eat.
Oh, yes.
With you? All right, come on.
Let's see. French, English, Dutch.
I've occasionally seen
Man.
Any other nationalities that we should be worried about joining us?
We're getting a veritable United Nations of ragtag orphans.
Hmm.
You
I
understand?
bet he's that tired.
That you are in great danger here.
I know. And I promise I shan't involve you and your mother. Just a few minutes. When I've rested a bit, we'll be on our way. I was hoping to see Colonel Rougeron.
We have not heard from my father for several months. At that time, he was with his regiment before Metz.
You have my sympathy, mademoiselle. I too have suffered a loss. You remember my son John, of course.
Of course.
She looks right at the camera.
He's dead.
Oh no, his son has died.
He was the RAF, you know. Shot down over Helgoland 2 months ago. Gave a very decent account of himself, I understand, before they got him. Took 3 to get him, too.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Wake up. Monsieur Howard, we've got to get started.
Started? What do you mean?
You put this on. You look too English.
I don't understand this.
Later, please. The Germans are going through the houses. Hurry, please.
What are these shrouds, may I ask?
They're school aprons, so we all look French.
And these. And you will have to be foolish again, remember.
Foolish?
Crazy.
Ah, necessary, I suppose.
qui est là?
C'est la militaire police. Ouvrez tout de suite.
Oh man.
Nous sommes informés, madame, qu'il y a encore des Anglais dans la ville. Qui est donc ici dans cette maison?
Des Anglais chez moi? Mais monsieur, j'habite toute seule ici.
Ce nous allons voir. Dessous.
Non, monsieur, mais vous ne pouvez pas rentrer ici chez moi.
Allons.
I actually like that they didn't provide subtitles there.
Hmm.
Voyez, je ne vous mentais pas.
Ah, they went out the back way. Must have.
Je suis là, s'il vous plaît.
Non, rien, non, s'il vous plaît.
Combien?
C'est allé simple.
Quelle est la raison de votre voyage, madame?
Parce que nous habitions Londres, monsieur. Et nous rentrons chez nous parce que mon grand-père est trop vieux pour voyager en ce moment.
Qu'est-ce qu'il faut là? Des cannes à pêche?
Toi qui vas pêcher.
Ça va.
Voilà, mademoiselle.
Just put a beret on him and have him drool. Perfect.
Perfect disguise.
Yeah.
May I ask now where we're bound for?
To the channel, monsieur. The Britannic coast. There is someone there that I know who might help us.
Coast.
Was this necessary for you, this long, this not very safe trip?
Even if someone else could have done it, monsieur, I would not permit it. It is a thing I must do myself. Myself alone. Nobody else.
I itch, mademoiselle.
No, chérie, no.
But I do. Because it's terribly.
The German soldiers sleep right there.
It was just a year ago that month at St. Moritz. But a long year, and a sad one.
It's all quite hard to realize. Every now and then I find myself drifting off into a feeling that it's all a dream. Monstrous dream. Still just a dream. Presently we'll wake up, then he'll come in. We'll sit and talk together again.
I know.
Took 3 to bring him down, you know.
Softly, please.
You remember him kindly, don't you?
Him, his letters. Our only visit together in Paris.
You saw him in Paris?
Once. Just once. It was just before the invasion. We had a beautiful 3 days.
I had no idea of that.
Well.
Nobody. In time we would have, I suppose. We planned to anyway. And then he went back. And then you wait and wait. Day after day. Day after day. You wait for a letter. And then it comes. But it's not from him. It's from his squadron. But it's not from him. So for a long time you don't open it.
Well, how about that?
Quite the journey they've gone on.
Yes. They covered some ground.
I want to say that's what, like 300 miles easy?
Yeah, yeah.
Frenchman. Nicole, you don't know. You haven't begun to learn what it means to live under the Boche. How do I know I can trust him? How do you know you can trust him? How do I know this is not a trap?
But, Uncle, I know him. I know him very well.
Totally
How do I
fair
know I
question,
can trust you?
to be fair.
Voyons.
But how do you know you can trust me? This is dangerous business. An Englishman in my house, it could mean my death. How do you know that I will not report him to save myself?
I refuse even to think of such things.
But under the Boche, child, this is what happens. This is the poison that runs through the mind. Our friends, are they still our friends? Our family, our own family, are they still true? Or have they said to themselves, this is no time for sentimentality. We must save our own skins.
As I have said before, I have no wish to involve anyone else in my own personal problems. I shall, of course, leave this house.
No, no, please. Let me sleep on it, monsieur. Perhaps tomorrow.
Someone shooting at somebody.
Yeah.
It is red. And breast. Come outside. What is the harbor? They are after the ships.
Nice.
Why, those filthy...
No, no, monsieur. It is a British raid. Those are British planes.
British?
Yes, yes, that is it. They are after Hitler. And that was the report in Brest today, that he was there inspecting the invasion fleet.
Well,
Well.
What is it, Mr. Howard?
those are British planes. The RAF.
The RAF? The RAF! Yes, the RAF! That's your lovely!
Let's have a look at this thing, by George. Bang! See that one? Maybe that one got him, eh? Bang! Oh, that's right, boys. Drop another one. Here again. Bang! Oh, by George, this is the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. Jolly good, eh? Huh? Oh, jolly good. Oh, boy. Jolly good.
You enjoyed that way too much.
Yeah, just quivering with excitement.
Well, I have found the man and made all the arrangements. His name is Fouquet. His boat is at a fishing village about 10 kilometers from here. As soon as it gets dark tonight.
That's a good girl. Listen to me, Sheila. Ronnie. Tonight, we go right in among the Germans. It will be very dangerous. Compris? So we must be especially careful. You must be quiet. You must do whatever Monsieur Howard and I tell you, quickly. And above all, you must not speak one word of English.
This is not going to backfire at all.
No.
I mean,
Monsieur.
have you ever tried getting a group of kids to be quiet?
I can't get one kid to be
And
quiet.
my corns, I'd rather be captured. Are we ready?
Yes? Well, goodbye, Monsieur Howard. God bless you.
Goodbye, son. Thank you very much. Well? No, wait. My rods.
Oh. Yes, sir.
Good, that's it. Carry on. Horse.
Mustn't forget the fishing rod.
Yes. Yes. A 6-mile walk through enemy territory.
It's Pig's face.
Hey!
Pigsy.
Come here
Rotten
again.
bastard.
That signal, that drink he's going to order.
Pernod des Anges.
Pernod des Anges.
There is no such thing, you understand. It's just a signal. But you leave it off to me.
But it's mine. I saw it first. You can't have it. C'est moi qui l'ai vu.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear, Pigsy hurt.
You,
There's no way he didn't hear him.
you had one job. Moment. It's a
C'est moi qui l'ai vu la
little flick of the
première
eyes.
fois.
So about that whole no English thing.
Who knows? Maybe this is going to be that one of those movies where everyone speaks in English but with a different accent. That cat screwed them over.
Un pot de lait pour chat. Et pour nous, demi-blonde. Un bol de lait. Deux demi-blondes. Demi-blonde.
Is anyone here?
I don't think so. I was afraid that soldier.
Pernod des Anges.
At least put a few away tonight.
Right?
Alors, comment ça va? Ah,
Stumbling.
qu'est-ce que tu prends?
Un Pernod des Anges.
Un Pernod des Anges.
Oui, un Pernod des Anges, figure-toi. Je veux un Pernod des Anges.
Dis donc, t'es pas cinglé? J'ai jamais entendu parler de ça, moi.
C'est un peu fort de café, alors t'as jamais entendu parler de ça?
Non.
Ah, c'est marrant, là, t'as jamais entendu parler de ça. Alors, mais moi non plus, mon vieux.
Monsieur Fouquet.
Mais c'est Nicole. Ah, c'est la petite Nicole. Oh, mais qu'est-ce que tu fais ici?
Oh, je suis malade. Vous prenez quelque chose avec nous?
Oh, tu parles.
What, did she hear the signal or something? I missed something there.
Mon grand-père.
Bonjour, grand-père.
He said the signal.
Okay.
Something de Jean.
Vous parlez anglais. Monsieur Howard ne comprend pas le français.
Yes. All is all right.
Ah, good actor.
The boat, it is by the bottom of the lighthouse. You understand? Yes. From the outside of the cafe, you will see the lighthouse to the right. You understand?
When do we start?
Not together, but when I have departed. You understand? I understand. The sooner, the better. Now, we'll go. Ah, ta santé, Nicole. Allez, ça fait du bien, ça. Allez, au revoir, Nicole. Au revoir, mes petits agnons. Au revoir, grand. Dis, tu me la copieras, hein?
Ah, toi, ton Pernod des Anges. Allez, passe la main.
Perfect spot.
Vive la France.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd Pixie go?
Oh.
On peut emporter le petit chat.
Oh, shh.
Pardon, mademoiselle.
Hey, wait a second. That's Hoffman Kenny.
On appelle la Jojo. C'est ça, Jojo.
Oh, he looks like Titus Welliver.
No idea who that is.
Modern actor, been in a bunch. Anyway, yeah. Same eyes.
Thus.
No, monsieur. I'm not English. I'm French. And you have told me yourself, remember, that in time of trouble, one should be in one's own country to do what one can do.
Do you think that actor's actually French?
This is where I belong.
No, I don't. Think
But she's doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Oh, afterward I shall come.
Sie da unten! Sie!
Uh-oh.
Too late.
You English? Yes, you.
I am. She is not. She's French.
All right. That way. Go. Arrête, là.
Oh no!
Dang it.
Come on, go. Come on, off. Come on.
Ça me fait pas peur, ta sale gueule de boche.
Oh.
Dankeschön, meine Kleine.
It's another reason to hate Pixie.
Yeah, right.
Come in, please. Very touching. Very ingenious. My congratulations. You know, of course, that Charrington has been arrested.
I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about.
Now, have you ever heard of Major Cochrane, I suppose? Of Room 212, Army Intelligence, in the War Office in Whitehall?
No.
Your memory obviously needs freshening.
Monsieur,
Later, mademoiselle. An English gentleman traveling across France with 5 children, anxious only to get back home. A pretty and most disarming device.
It happens to be the truth.
English truth. He must do better than that. Such a story wouldn't deceive a child. What were you doing in France in the first place?
Fishing.
What sort of fish? Quickly.
Blue trout. Sometimes you get a grayling, but not often.
Tackle, quickly.
Aren't you being a trifle silly?
Answer me, what tackle?
Well, you need a 9-foot cast, but the stream is usually very strong, so 3X is fine enough. It's all wet fishing, you understand.
Flies?
Well, a dark olive gets them as well as anything. Or a large blue dun, although personally I detest it. I got one or two and a thing called a jungle cock.
Wird später nachgeprüft. Who are these children? Where did you get them?
2 English children belong to friends of mine.
And the others? Friends too, I suppose.
The others I know little about, except they were lost and unhappy. Didn't occur to me to demand further credentials.
You insist on that absurd story.
You asked for the truth, didn't you?
Yes, and I shall get it! Before I'm finished with you, Mr. Englishman, you shall be talking very freely indeed, I promise you.
Uh-oh.
And your memory
The
shall
FA
be
is
much better.
getting information.
Perhaps we shall invite Mademoiselle to be present during that process. And the little children also.
Your intention is to frighten me. You're wasting your breath.
I'm simply trying to point out to you how futile it is to assume these poses. You are no longer dealing with children, you see. We know who sent the information to the English of the Führer's visit with the fleet at Brest. We know who caused that raid. It was you and Sharon.
I?
What we do not know, and you shall tell us, is how that message was passed through to London, to that Major Cochrane whom you don't know. That's what you are going to tell us, Mr. Englishman. And as soon as it is told, the pain will stop. Not before. Take them away. Subite, Major.
Torture's never a good never effective method of getting information.
Never.
I say, did they get him?
Get home.
Hitler.
Of course not.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Little parting shot.
Shoot us, Mr. Howard?
Of course not. I really can't believe they'll do anything for children. Anything serious, that is. My greatest
I was thinking this was kind of a kid's movie. Like, until they have like the threat of torture. I'm like, maybe this wasn't meant for children.
Oh, you threatening to torture the old guy, not the kids.
There.
Although that being said, I have heard a couple horror stories where,
To make what arrangements I can to pay you.
and that's for another video.
Yeah.
This is good, but I would be going to England just the same. I would join de Gaulle.
De Gaulle? Who's de Gaulle?
De Gaulle, monsieur. He's one who was
Who's
neither
de Gaulle?
a traitor nor a coward. He's the true France.
De Gaulle is I'm probably going to piss off all the France for saying this, but Gaulle was an egocentrical glory hound.
Yeah. Polarizing figure, for sure.
Didn't help that he almost tore my country apart when Quebec tried to become independent.
I didn't know that.
He came over here and just started speaking for Quebec independence.
My will.
They lost the referendum by 1%.
Wow.
My daughter is very well situated. Married to an American.
That's a good what if video. It's like what if Quebec, like what if that had passed and Quebec was
I
independent?
don't see how I could do
That is a very interesting idea.
Yeah.
Do what you can for these children.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have Justin Trudeau as my current prime minister.
I will not think about things like that.
Stupid to get them this far and then drop the whole matter. Good for you too, Fouquet.
No, this is not necessary.
He's writing his last will and testament.
Man.
I read what they do in concentration camps, you know. I have no idea how much of that sort of thing I should be able to stand. I'd hate to give them the satisfaction of complaining. Perhaps I shan't be able to help myself. If only I
You know,
could figure
sometimes
out
it's
what
said
they
that we didn't know
want to
anything
confess.
about the concentration camps
I'm
ahead of
sure
time, but
I'd
here is
I'd
42,
come to some kind of
and
arrangement
obviously they do.
with that writer. I might sound him out at that.
You.
Some more discussions, I imagine.
Discussions.
Behave yourselves.
Come here.
Oh.
Look out. Very pleasant garden, isn't it?
Very?
That is where your friend, Mr. Charon, is going to die.
in just a few minutes. Unless you decide to help him.
I know nothing whatever of his work or of how he went about it. Or if I did, would I tell you?
He would live. You would live.
I have seen this actor somewhere before, but I can't remember where. I know that he also played the villain.
Yeah. It's got that face.
But the war will be over in 6 months. And then it'd be free.
I have nothing whatever to tell you.
Look, they are bringing him out. It's a very little thing that I ask that won't injure either of you. Nor will it make any difference to the war, because in any case your country is already doomed. If you tell me now how he got the information out of France and back to England to your Major Cochrane, I'll stop the execution.
I have told you truthfully, I do not know.
You haven't much time. A minute or two, no more. Think about it again.
If you are so utterly stupid that you can't realize I'm telling the truth, well, it's useless to continue to talk to you.
Well, as you wish.
The shrug. Oh man, are they gonna do it?
Wait, Mr. Englishman. Does it frighten you so much? Shield! Fire!
Damn, they really did it.
That guy.
Puzzle me, really. If you are a spy,
pour one out for that guy.
Yeah.
At least you are a very clever one. What did you intend to do with the children? These children, what did you plan to do with them?
I don't know. I hadn't thought. Send them to America, I suppose.
America? Why America?
Well, I believe they'd be safer there.
And who would have paid for this migration, if I may ask?
I would, of course.
And in America, what would they do? Starve?
I don't think so. I have a married daughter who lives in a district called Long Island. She would have made a home for them till the war was over.
So he knows Long Island's not a
Asking me
state.
to believe that the woman in America would make a home in her own house for all these dirty little children that you have picked up?
I'm no longer interested in what you believe. That is what I would have done.
And Mademoiselle, are you going to send her to America too?
I would like her to go there. She refuses to leave here. She has a mother in charge. She planned to return there. You certainly don't think that she's a spy too, do you?
She was aiding you, obviously.
Listen, I will confess to anything you wish, if only you will let them go. Let the young man Fouquet sail with them for Plymouth in his boat. And let Mademoiselle Rougeron return to her home. I give you my word that she's entirely innocent of anything more than an effort to get these children to safety. If you will do that, I will confess to whatever you say.
He's come a long way, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I simply don't know what to make of you. I can only say you must be a very brave man to make such an offer.
Not brave, just old.
Up here.
He initially thought they would be spending 2/3 of a day together. Isn't that right?
At 18 hours, and here we are like a week later.
Yeah.
Well, that's a turn of events.
What did he say?
He says it's for us. For us?
Waiting for the other shoe to drop here.
That's right, who cares?
Beware those Greeks bearing gifts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Sie können hier Platz nehmen. Die Stühle sind für Sie. This is better than home.
Wonder what this means.
I don't know. For a while, I had a faint hope that he was going to let you and the children go. This, I don't understand at all.
It's something he wants, but what?
Buttering us, eh?
Uh-oh.
Come with me, please.
Now we get the bill.
Now we get the bill.
Don't worry. I promise you, I shan't lose my temper again.
He looks nervous.
Because of the shadow, I thought he had like a LeBron James headband on for a second.
I don't think those were a thing in the 1940s.
I don't think so either, yeah. It was a strange image.
Uh-oh. Making sure that his gun's loaded.
You be seated.
Or will I?
That's all. Leave us. Leave us. It'll be quite safe.
Right along now, Hoffman Kenning.
Perhaps not. But you have much to fear from me. I do not believe one word of your story about these children.
I will say anything you wish if only you will let them go.
But how can you be so certain that your daughter's husband would welcome these vagabond children into his fine home? He's an American. Why should he concern himself with half a dozen European children?
I can only assure you that I have no doubts about it at all.
And what about the Jewish child?
Jewish? Which Jewish child?
The dark one.
That's a
Is he
turn of
Jewish?
events.
He's French. Didn't occur to me to ask if you were also Jewish.
Here?
But in America,
I
would
assume
they
that's who he's
accept the
referring to.
Jewish child?
I don't believe they'd turn down any child. Even a German.
Oh.
Even a German?
That's what I said.
Are you positive of that?
Well, we English have already sent them thousands of our own children. There have never been any conditions that I know of as to color, race, or religion.
The United States took in quite a few refugees and turned away quite a few.
That's true.
That's the truth of the history.
Continue your trip to England.
And they went to Israel eventually.
Not without the children.
If I were to let you go to England with the children so that they could be sent to America, would you be grateful enough to do me a small service?
I'm listening.
Depended upon what it was.
There is a certain person
Deal with the devil.
taken to America. I do not want to advertise her journey. It would be very suitable that she should travel with your party of children.
If you think for 1 second that I would even consider a proposal to introduce a German agent into England or America under cover of myself and these children, well, you're an even greater fool than I had heretofore thought you were.
Quiet, please. She can hardly act as an agent, since she's a child of 7.
Oh.
Oh.
Child.
I thought he was booking passage for his mistress.
7-year-old girl. Explain.
Please. This little girl is my niece. Her father, my younger brother, is dead. He was killed in Belgium. Her mother, we learned later, was not fully Aryan, so we were compelled to dispose of her. But the unfortunate problem of the child remains. Half Aryan, half Jewish. She happens to be a very sweet child. And I would feel much better if she were with my older brother, who went to the United States after the last war. He's an American citizen.
Whoa.
She would be safer, you mean?
If you wish. His name. My older brother's name is Rupert. Rupert Deason. He now has his business, but they would call grocery in a city named Rochester in New York State.
City?
City of Rochester.
I did not see that coming.
His address.
Are you positive?
Brought it right back around.
What are you talking
Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's
Yeah, certainly. I've heard of it.
His address is 600 North 3rd Street.
I was like hanging with the guy's story. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like this Nazi's trying to get his half Jew niece, out of Germany or
How
whatever.
quickly?
Brought it right back around.
For America.
City. I dare not get them off in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks.
It must not be longer than that. We are occupying England in August. And it would be better if-
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, Mademoiselle Rougeron would return to her home in Chartres. But until I heard from my brother that the child was safe in his home, we would keep an eye on her.
You mean she would be a hostage?
Precisely.
But no harm would come to her.
Not unless you were foolish enough to tell anyone of this arrangement.
I'd make that deal.
Yeah.
I shall be glad to take the child.
I mean, what are his
She'll
options?
deliver to her uncle.
Good. What is your address in London? I'll send for you when we arrive.
42 Curzon Street. Yours, I assume, will be the Tower of London.
You will be prepared to leave tonight.
Fun fact, the Tower of London was actually used to store munitions during the war.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
No conditions were necessary to persuade me to deliver a child out of your hands. It never entered my head to refuse to take her.
That's good. If you had made any other decision, I would have been compelled to kill you at once.
An evil-looking man.
I've known too much to leave this room alive.
Let's see. He was perfectly fine with his sister-in-law being killed,
Right.
but his niece, on the other hand.
When he said the Tower of London, I thought he was going to say 10 Downing Street, which is the same joke, but kind of flipped on its head, I guess.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll be at 10 Downing Street or whatever.
Pas un mot.
Expect Clark Kent to get out of that car.
Vorsicht. Ganz still. Geradeaus.
How immeasurably better was that child's life getting to America instead of post-war Germany?
Unimaginable.
Yeah.
Oh, this is still the early war, so post-war ruins of Germany haven't exactly happened yet.
Assuming she even survived, the next 3 years.
Oh,
oops.
Well,
cool it.
So much for getting monetized.
Yeah.
That salute will be rather out of place.
Von nun an brauchst du nicht mehr Heil Hitler zu sagen. Du kommst unter Leute, die das nicht verstehen.
Nicht mehr Heil Hitler.
That girl is not German.
I can't Heil Hitler. It's like, bro, you've been telling me to do this for the past 3 years now, and now you're telling me I can't? What the hell?
Make up your mind.
Yeah.
All this I know you've done for my boy. With him I thank you.
Oh, well. YouTube's gonna murder us for that one.
Yeah. It's historically relevant. Google if you're watching. And I like that the old coot gets like the Bogart and Ingrid Bergman shot from Casablanca with the femme fatale, not the femme fatale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with his possible daughter-in-law.
Right. Not creepy at all.
Come and see me when it's over, and we'll talk about John.
There's one more thing, Mr. Englishman. There must be no trickery. If one word of this appears, it'll be the concentration camp for your young lady. Remember that.
If anything happens to my young lady, and I hear of it, this whole story will be in the papers and on the shortwave radio, mentioning you by name. And you remember that.
Mutually assured destruction.
You dare threaten me?
It's a good system.
You dared threaten me, didn't you?
Go.
And I had the last word in.
Yeah. Fine. Go. All right then.
On voyage, kids.
Good luck.
Well, knowing their luck, they're probably gonna run into like a submarine or something.
The kids are a little bit Merry and Pippin, right? Like, all you have to do is not make noise. Okay, 5 seconds later, knock the skull off into the well.
Orcs come screaming up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You'd all better go below and see if you can't get some sleep.
There's a below in that craft?
No, you...
Well, below, it's more...
Good night.
I guess it's like, there could be a below deck.
Yeah.
That's where the engine is.
Comfy.
Anna. Good night, little Anna. You're all friends now.
Gute Nacht, Herr Howard.
Good night.
That is the most American accent I've ever heard a German speak.
And by the way, Ixnay on the ale hay, Itler hay.
Uh-huh.
This is no matter. I think I ought to clear up with you.
He's got his fishing rods there. He's held on to him for over 500 miles, and he's gonna hang on to him still.
I know what he's doing tonight.
But it seems we were both wrong.
Talking about Rochester.
Tell me all about it.
Agree to disagree.
Rochester.
Oh, no. Isn't that odd, sir? That we both should have made that same mistake.
I apologize to you.
Good actor, by the way. I like the old guy a lot.
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh, so much of the fly fishing. Well,
it's like, remember how we were broing down a second ago? Yeah, that's all dead.
And now we're in London. Carry on, London.
Evening, Peters.
Welcome back, sir. We've missed you.
He's back in his element.
How much you willing to bet he probably dunked that kid overboard for a minute after he lost his fishing poles? Like, all right, no, I promised your parents I'd get you to England.
I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to scare him a little bit. Yeah.
Been away?
France.
just sitting there, eating the paper in the middle of an air raid.
Yeah.
France?
Fishing.
Fishing for children.
Oh, he was fishing, and then
They ended up fishing a bunch of orphans.
Odd time to go fishing in France, wasn't it?
Why?
incoming.
Awesome.
Saturday.
That one was pretty close. What do you suppose we ought to do?
Yes, sir.
Keep calm and carry on.
I'm going to have last port.
You can no longer scare this man, is the vibe I'm getting here. The Blitz is nothing compared to what he's been through.
Had much difficulty getting back.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Not too much. Well, that was probably my favorite movie we've watched doing these. I enjoyed that a lot. I'd like to hear your thoughts before I give my own.
As I said, it's actually I think it's the most wholesome World War Wednesday movie we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, we got this curmudgeonly old fop who hates children, and then he escorts them for 500 miles across France. Curmudgeonly old English fop gets saddled with a bunch of kids, and he slowly grows into a nicer human being. It's almost like a Scrooge story.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this reminded me of a lot of things when we were watching it. Scrooge, certainly, the grumpy old man, kind of rediscovers sort of his child spirit, if you will. Reminded me of a film that I regard to be perfect. It's called Children of Men, in which case Clive Owen escorts a fragile non-combatant out of enemy territory and tries to, get her to safety.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that movie, but I've never actually seen the whole thing. But I know what it's about.
I think,
last
sorry,
baby on Earth is like the last baby on Earth sort of thing, or something like that.
Yeah. It reminded me of it in that a very cynical, angry at life character is escorting essentially very precious, fragile cargo through hostile enemy lines. And this sort of changes them and makes them a better person and makes them appreciate things again in the end. It reminded me of I don't know. A lot of these movies that you suggest for these are just kind of like a warm blanket that you just sort of like want to wrap yourself in.
It's not like movies nowadays where everything is dark and edgy and gritty and realistic. No, you just want to watch this movie to have a good time.
Yeah. It's
watch this movie to want to watch the movies, have a good time, and see a bunch of actual Nazis get smacked.
Yeah, it's a bowl of chicken soup. I guess at the end, it reminded me just a little bit of Tom Hanks' Castaway. This character has spent the entire movie completely out of his element, and then in the end, for 5 minutes, we see him back in his element again, and that's like a very jarring. Like, this is how he spent most of his life, and we see that for 5 minutes kind of thing. Yeah, but it's very, very good. I think it's completely appropriate for children. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a kids' movie back in the day, but I really loved it. Yeah, two huge thumbs up. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Did we ever come up with a rating system for these? Like Rochester's out of 5.
when they brought that back around, when the Nazi. So first of all, with that scene, I was kind of blown away by how they humanized the Nazi. Okay, so apparently they did that in the 40s, and then from then until like 2000, the Nazis were just like cardboard cutout villains, and then after that, they were allowed to be humanized a little bit again, to where he could be like concerned about like his kid, like his niece, I think it was.
Yeah, his niece.
Yeah, so
his half Jewish niece.
So I was completely leaned into that. I was like, whoa, this is an interesting, complex character. He's supposed to hate the Jews. He's trying to get his half Jew niece out of Europe or whatever, and then they bring back around the Rochester joke, and I lost it.
Maybe we can make maybe you can make a new state in the Union of Rochester in his honor.
Note to future Kev: Photoshop that.
They did reuse some of the actors that we have seen in previous ones. The Edge of Darkness with Hoffman, Kenning, and Pigsy. And this movie was actually made before Edge of Darkness. So in my head canon, those are actually those were actually Hoffman, Kenning, and Pigsy while they were stationed in France before they got shipped off to Norway. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to check out my channel, my main channel, and the Historian's main channel. Links in the description down below. And also remember to hit that notification bell because YouTube is kind of screwy with the notifications. You got to hit that bell. Good, kiddos. Until next time, farewell.